Referee is Victor Rivas. And it is playoff time in Austin. Playoff time when senses are sharpened, tenses are heightened. Pablo Ruiz. To Andrew Brody. He was a viable contender for Player of the Year at Salt Lake. And in it goes from Cordoba. Andrew Brody with the first incursion, and Sergio Cordoba with a graceful glancing header to give the underdogs a third-minute lead.
Last week, Pablo Mastroeni had to make a switch tactically. He went to 4 in the back, and it allowed Brody to push forward, but more so for Chang to come inside.
Rubio Rubin. Chang. Oh, a feeling for hands there against Johan Valencia. Has Chris Penso, the VAR, in his ear. Looking at these images, and that arm is a long way from his body. Can you honestly say that that's in a natural position?
No, and where does the ball hit?
All eyes on Victor Rivas. Penalty. It is the apparently reluctant striker, Sergio Cordoba, who goes for placement more than power.
Back to that call on the penalty, but a player that they don't even think believes he wants to be a 9. He doesn't even want to be a 9, and yet what has he done in the first 15 minutes? Opposition scores the first goal. At times, this crowd can become very anxious and very quiet, and it plays on the players.
Here's Fagundes. And Driussi! Austin are back in business.
Well, he's a creator. We saw that in the open, but does a real good job of running off your shoulder, using Max Cerruti as a decoy.
He's got 2 for company. Rubin making the run, and Rubio Rubin always slightly the second favourite. Contact was made, and that's led to an angry exchange.
Rubin was given a yellow early on in the first half, no?
Correct. Might be a moment, maybe a moment that he comes to rue here, because out comes yellow again. And Rubio Rubin is sent off for the first time in his career.
Again, transition moment. Severino in great space. Great ball in behind to Rubin. But the moment this play is out of your reach and you're already on a yellow, you cannot risk lifting your feet, let alone having your studs come up a little high on Stuver. Brad Stuver knew exactly what was going on. That's a yellow. Now, if he keeps his studs down, John, I'm not sure the referee gives it.
Fagundes. Gallagher, and Rigoni has missed another one. Fagundes. Gabrielson. 8 minutes into the second half.
There's no pressure on him. Why not go forward?
Kolmanic in. It's Rigoni.
Penalty.
And penalty for handball. And the yellow card to add insult to injury.
Rigoni comes to hit this first time, and he turns his back. But watch the left arm of Scott Caldwell. Where is the position of his left arm? It's away from his body. That's a difficult one. And this is where the handball laws, John, because how close is Scott Caldwell to the defender? Now, for me, this is a penalty. This is a penalty because his arm's away from his body.
Can Austin grab the lifeline? 94th minute. Driussi! Austin is still afloat.
Scott Caldwell closing it down, ball directly off the left hand. And for the man in the legend for Austin FC.
That might be enough to take this to the extra half hour. Indeed it is. Austin have come from 2 goals behind for the 6th and most important time this season. Cordoba's brace of goals answered in kind.
Get into those wide areas. We're going to need a lot more service, and we're going to need some individual action.
Here's Fagundes with the corner kick, and the header off the base of the post. Brodie. Löffel's end, and Brodie's continued his gallop. And here's Andrew Brodie! What a story that would have been for the one-time Uber driver if he'd finished that off. Rigoni. Ball in the air a long time makes that relatively easy to deal with for a weary Brodie. Kolmanic. Andriusi! Flags up. He doesn't know it yet, but that is not going to count. When he turns round, there's bad news for him.
Austin FC, Josh Wolf and the staff will just look at it and say what could have been.
And that does it. This first round, 2022 Audi MLS Cup playoff.
Well, he's taken 4 this year, 2 down the middle and 2 to the goalkeeper's right.
Driussi locates the bottom corner just beyond the goalkeeper's dive. Pretty close to that, Zach McMahon. Now RSL. And Andrew Brodie's day turns sour.
He's had 2 saved and 18 and 19 to the goalkeeper's right.
Fagundes for Austin. Very consummately converted. Paraguayan midfielder. And Stuber is equal to that too. Off the longest run you are likely to see. String down the middle.
Oh, he's well traveled, he's experienced, he's played in 5 countries. They spent $4 million to bring in Rigoni to add it
because he has to score to keep Real Salt Lake alive. It's Schmidt, it's Ariel, and it's Austin, whose adventure continues. Their first ever playoff game ends in victory for the penalty spot.